Hello, my Sagittarians. Welcome to October. It's Maria, insightfulastrology.com. Okay, guys, this month it is all about Venus retrograde. Next month, I have to tell you, just like, spoiler alert for next month, you guys are the bomb. You guys are going to turn into, everything in life. All the possibilities are coming to you in November because Jupiter's going to go into your sign in November. So even if October turns out to be not so happy for you, and I'm not saying it will, it doesn't have to be, but in case that's what happens, please know that as soon as we get into November, you are golden. Golden. You just are. Okay? So I'll save that for November. Let's get through October. Venus, the planet of love, beauty, self-worth, harmony, money, is turning retrograde on October 5th and remains retrograde until November 16th. She will originally turn retrograde in Scorpio, which falls in your hidden 12th house, and remains there until October 31st. So during this month, Venus is retrograde in that private area of your chart. Now, Venus does go retrograde once every 18 months, but she'll go retrograde in a different part of your chart, different signs, etc. This Venus retrograde cycle it's going to touch you. It is. I live with Venus in the 12th house, so if you Google anything about Venus in the 12th house, you're going to see a really sad love story situation. People with Venus in the 12th house is your most recent past life. First of all, it's your karmic closet. It is the reservoir of spiritual depth and enlightenment and compassion and psychic abilities and true connection to the divine and real unconditional love with Venus in the 12th. However, it can also be an area of great suffering, private pain, loss, sacrifice. And so with Venus retrograde in the 12th house, there could be a past life love situation coming back in your life for you to resolve and let go of, or let go of the pain or fear attached to the connection. And when I say past life, you probably already met this person in this life, and you might have even had a relationship with him or her. But for whatever reason, it's coming up again to haunt you. A past life love situation that you went through is kind of repeating itself. I don't know what it is, but I do think it's fascinating when you consider it spiritually, because, let's say, I don't know, let's say you're married and you recently found out that your spouse was having an affair. Well, now Venus is retrograde. What's happening is you're confronting some serious issues connected to the relationship and can you salvage it? But the Venus retrograde in your 12th actually suggests that in a previous life, you're the one who might have had the affair. And now this is kind of like, oh, well, the roles are reversed in this life. You need to experience the pain and suffering that was that you perpetrated onto your spouse in a previous life. I'm not saying that's your situation. I'm talking symbolically. So please understand that. And hopefully you can apply this to your real life situation. Understand the theme is it is karmic. It is fated. Whatever's happening in your love life, it is certainly no accident. The person or in your environment, whether you are with this person, not with this person, whether you were with this person, whether you just have a fantasy to be with this person, there is something about this relationship that is extremely karmic for you to untangle. And for a lot of you, I'm not going to lie, it feels like you have to let go of the suffering. Do you feel like you deserve to suffer, guys, in love? Is that what's going on? Do you feel like you deserve this pain, this agony, this feeling of lack, of being in love with someone but not being able to hold on to them? Is that where you are right now? Because if you are, this Venus retrograde is going to teach you a lot. It's going to teach you a lot. Maybe some of you have created a situation like that for yourself because the truth is you're terrified to really love. And you know that if you created an unobtainable situation, you would never actually have to be in a relationship. And if that's the case, the universe is calling you out on your bullshit and saying, all right, it's time to deal with this once and for all. You might have had a secret affair with someone at some point, and that situation is now coming up for you again in some way. You might have just pined away for somebody for a really long time and not been able to have them. And then all of a sudden, the potential to be with that person is in front of you during this Venus retrograde cycle. And you have to decide now, wait, do I even want this anymore? They didn't want me when I wanted them. Now they want me? What's up with that? Okay? It's going to be interesting. For others, this is truly about you've got this great love that is around you, this great love that wants to love you, and you have been so terrified of letting that person in. And what you have to let go of during the Venus retrograde, if this is you, is that fear that if I love this person's going to leave me, this person's going to die, this person's going to abandon me, this person won't be there. This is Scorpio. This is going to be dark, deep stuff. But healing is on the other side with Scorpio, because the shadow of Scorpio energy is, death, rebirth, death, manipulation, control, power struggles. But the illuminative side is rebirth, transformation, healing. And that is what you can ultimately achieve in your love life while Venus is retrograde. And I want you to lean towards that. Go for that. Okay? Even if it's a little scary, it's worth it. On October 15th, you might have an actual conversation with this person about this situation. Mercury will have moved into Scorpio in your hidden 12th house, and on the 15th, those two planets link up perfectly. So there is like a secret conversation, some enlightenment that's happening, and that should be healing. That should definitely help move this forward in whatever direction it's supposed to go for you. Now, a new moon in Libra is happening on the 8th. And this new moon falls in your social 11th house. So there could be, this new moon though, it's associated with an expense. So the 11th house is not just your friends, okay? Yeah, for some reason a friend might cost you money, but I'm not seeing it that way. The 11th house is also the internet, technology, social media. So because that new moon is square Pluto in your second house of earned income, there's something about it takes money to make money that you have to deal with that is not making you happy, because it's going to drain you a little bit financially, but it is a necessary expense. This could be launching a website. This could be, anything connected to technology, video, radio, podcast. It could be YouTube. It could be webinars, teaching online. Please remember, it takes money to make money. And I do see this as a bit of a financial drain for you, but it is temporary. And I do think that ultimately it's a wise investment. So that's how I'm seeing this new moon for you guys. Yes, it could also be about opening yourself up to new social experiences and embracing new friendships, but then feeling like you're having a hard time trusting the new relationships, at least in the beginning, and then pushing through that. That's also a possible thing for you. So then, guys, by the end of the month, it's like we're right back to this Venus retrograde. You can't get away from it in October. On the 24th, there's going to be a full moon in Taurus, which falls in your 6th house of work and health. This full moon can bring illumination and sudden visibility to you in terms of a project that you've been working on behind the scenes for your work. And if that's you, it's going to be really good. It's kind of like you've been behind the scenes doing this in secret, because Venus is in the 12th house, and Venus is also money in your talents. And it's like you went back to work on this and rework, and now the full moon happens on the 24th, and you're ready to release this. And for those of you who this resonates with, that is going to be successful, because this full moon is next to Uranus, sudden shift, sudden illumination, and it's trine Saturn in your second house of earned income. Long-term, stable financial stability as a result of whatever this is. So that's another reason why I'm getting that, in the beginning of the month, if you guys have to spend money for something, do it. It is going to pan out. I really feel that. And for some of you, this is about leaving a job that you are so devalued at and you're so sick and tired of dealing with, but immediately finding something else that pays you better in the long term and you can see will value you in the long term. That's also possible for a lot of you. It's that, Venus and Uranus will oppose one another on the 31st of October. And this opposition happened September 12th for the first time. So think back to, the themes that were going on September 12th-ish for you in terms of work, health, your spiritual life, your private romantic situation. That theme is now coming back on the 31st because the opposition is repeating itself, but in retrograde motion. So you're internalizing a lot of what you have to deal with now and the changes that are happening. So there are changes happening for you guys in work, in your work environment, and for some of you, health. For some of you, health. If you have been avoiding a health, dealing with any kind of health issue, it might suddenly come up for you to handle. I don't see it as anything dangerous or, crisis, but of course I'm not looking at your particular chart. I see it as a sudden monkey wrench that you have to deal with that you kind of knew was going on in the back of your head, but you were trying to avoid it because you had other things to do. That is possible at the end of the month, and you'll have to deal with it. And you will. And you'll be fine. Because like I said, come November, you guys are the bomb. I mean, oh my God, I literally want to celebrate, and it's going to be like a New Year's celebration next month for you guys, okay? Because your ruler, Jupiter, is going into your sign in November for the first time in 12 years. So whatever is happening in October, please believe me when I tell you that you need to deal with this. Clean up your mess in October so that you can take advantage of all of the yummy goodness that's coming your way in November and for the next year after that. Okay? I love you guys. Talk to you soon.